Episode 59, boys. We are finally back after a little break we took going into playoffs. Little missed the first couple games. I was on vacation. The boys were pretty busy, but we're back, and we're going to be back in our regularly scheduled programming. How you boys feeling about 4, 5-ish games into playoffs? How you guys feeling?
It's definitely been an exciting one. Some great games, a lot of overtime games, a lot of comebacks, a little shocking storylines, but that's playoff hockey right there for you.
Every series is a lot closer than I think I expected it would be, to be honest.
Oh, without a doubt. I 100% agree with that. Like, just right across the board. I thought Edmonton was going to blow the Kings out. That's not really happening. I thought Tampa was going to blow the Leafs away. That's not really happening.
I
And I
thought the
even
Avalanche would probably
Yep.
handle the Kraken a little differently.
Another one. It's just not going that way. Another thing I look at too is just even like the Bruins, right, which we're obviously going to talk in depth about today. Those games have been like there's been some times where I've been like a little stressed. You know what I mean? I mean the Bruins are clearly the better team, but even Florida's playing them better than I thought they would. I don't know about you guys. How do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, really, game two was like, oh shit. Game two gave me a little scare early on, but the way the boys bounced back, like that's the biggest thing, and like we're gonna get more in depth to it, obviously, but just like the depth scoring that we've had and the unsung heroes, but we'll wait till the dirty water segment to get really into that little.
Yeah, no, I agree. What do you how you guys been, Connor? How have you been?
Good, man. I mean, taking a little siesta on the podcast while work and other things have kept us all kind of preoccupied, but it feels good to finally get back into the regular rhythm of things again.
Yeah,
Miss seeing your ugly faces on here.
I'll miss seeing you too, you ugly bastard. But yeah, I think it kind of. I mean, I think we get right into that dirty water and we kind of the Bruins. No, no. What do you want to do first? What do you want to do first?
You know what time it is.
Oh,
Kevin, give me a number 57 or 59.
oh, oh wow.
Oh, that's easy. Tyler Bertuzzi.
Tyler, just the tip, Bertuzzi, if you've seen that picture online recently.
Oh, I love that picture.
Yeah, no, and we're into that dirty water. Let's take a look at the Bruins. They are up 3-1. They're rolling. They're rolling. The Thunder is thundering, and there's no Krejci or Bergeron. Kev, how have you felt about the Bruins so far in the playoffs? Have they done what you wanted? Have you like to see anything different? How do you feel about the lines? How do you feel?
I'm actually loving the lines. I was a little nervous, a lot of juggling, so it's like chemistry being there. But these guys have stepped up, and I think that's the biggest thing. Responding to the whole Bergeron situation, and like a lot of people talking kind of down on Bergeron, like why would he play in that last game of the regular season? And we all know he did it for his dad, and just how powerful that is. And just like the statements, he's had our back his whole career. It's time for us to have his back. So like that's huge, and I think that's a big reason why this team's responding the way they are. Because we've talked about throughout the season, this team is a family, and they'll do whatever it takes for each other. And that's just the mentality they have. And no matter what, you're gonna get punched in the face. Guess what? The whole team's gonna punch you back. So I'm loving it.
Yeah, I've loved how they've responded. I don't know about you, Connor. Like the way they've responded to adversity and like when, really, I mean, Florida's played like a bunch of gangsters. Like after every play stoppage, they're trying to start fights. End of the game, they're trying to start fights. It shows that they like a lot of those guys haven't been there before. They don't know what it takes to win, and they're just trying to use male bravado to like push forward to get a win. And the Bruins are just laughing that off. A guy like Brad Marchand showing the leader he is, just being like,
Yeah. So I mean, I get where a lot of people are coming from as Bruins fans when you see the Panthers coming in here and doing all the cheap after whistle things. What I would say to that is look at what the Bruins did in 2011, 2013 in those time frames. They were kind of that team. Like they weren't the talented group of individuals, and they had to rough themselves out to get the wins.
yeah, no, that's I do look at that. Like the Bruins did used to play that style, and now they're kind of they have that in them still, but they just don't have to be that way. I want to kind of post something with you guys with the lines today. Definitely a little different. And my dad made the point that he thought they were kind of putting someone to protect someone on every line, and I I was like, I don't really know if I agree with that. But first line, Bertuzzi, Bergeron, Pasta. Second line, Marshy, Coyle, Foligno. Third line, Hall, Zaka, DeBrusque. Fourth line, Lauko, Nosek, Hathaway. Big surprise to me is Frederick not in the lineup in that. But also, like, I don't. My dad was like, look, they're trying to put Bertuzzi to protect Bergeron. I'm like, I don't really know that Bertuzzi's a protector. He's more of an agitator than a protector.
Yeah, I know him. But sorry to cut you off, but
No,
no,
you're good.
I love that line just for the fact that like the chemistry that Bertuzzi and Pasta have shown in this. We know the way Bergeron can play. Like he was in the full contact jersey, did the white sweater, so I love that line. But also that third line, would you say it was
Hall, Zaka,
Zaka?
DeBrusque.
Yeah, like oh my god, between DeBrusque and Hall, they have been the unsung heroes.
I think
Just
these lines are terrible. But
really,
keep going. Yeah, I think it's
I
the
kind of
dumbest
like
thing
him.
ever. Why would you not? No, it's stupid. Why are you splitting up Marchand and Bergeron? That's dumb. Number two, Zaka has great chemistry with Bertuzzi and Pasta. Why not leave him there? Why not put DeBrusque, Bergeron, and Marchand back, who are extremely dynamic, and then you can have Freddie, Hall, Coyle. I don't understand at all. I feel like this is just a weird line matching practice situation, and I hope it doesn't happen. It just
Yeah, I
doesn't make
mean,
logical sense.
I like it, but I don't think that he's gonna roll it out. Like we've seen everything, you know what I mean? Once again, it's just practice. We never know what Monty's gonna do. So
Practice. Practice.
Yeah, it's just practice, but at the same time, I mean, if you throw the proverbial lines in the blender and get a lot of different matchups here, you know, that third line is going to get a lot of favorable time on ice where they can be the weapon that you are seeing them be. Just like when the Bruins went out and acquired Charlie Coyle and Marcus Johansson. They were able to be so successful together because they got favorable matchups. And I think ultimately, once the Bruins get fully healthy, every other team in the NHL that they're going to play is absolutely screwed because your third line at that rate will be Taylor Hall, Charlie Coyle, and Tyler Bertuzzi potentially, which with the chemistry that Bertuzzi's picking up elsewhere, I don't foresee that being the case.
Yeah, I don't. Bertuzzi seems to just the way he play makes. He should be with David Pastrnak, and I like him with Zaka too. Guys who can just shoot the puck. Bertuzzi is a way better passer than I think any of us realized he was. Like he's 100x better playmaker than I thought he was. In all honesty, I want them to re-sign him. It's like there. I know there's probably not the money to do it, but I really like Bertuzzi's game a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I think that, and I'm probably actually just going to take the opportunity to write this myself since I'm going to go on about it. But I think there's a big case to be made that Don Sweeney should move some people out here to make space to re-sign Tyler Bertuzzi. And I think Taylor Hall, I'm sorry to say it, but is probably one of them. And then the other one would be the person you saw sit out the first two games of the series in Matt Grzelcyk.
Grizzlick, I could see. I don't think Taylor Hall's one of them. Taylor Hall's right now been the best player in the series by far. Like if he can get back to being that player, you need him for your future without Bergeron and Krejci.
right, and that's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
We're
I
seeing
don't
what
see that possibility anymore.
a healthy Taylor Hall is. And now we really understand how bad that injury was and how nagging it was and how much it affected him. So it's good to see him back.
Yes.
It's good to see him healthy,
But Tyler Bertuzzi's age meshes more with the next core of the Bruins than necessarily Taylor Hall. Can he stick around and be, the veteran who's 4 to 5 years older than everybody else? Yeah, sure, but I would
How old is
still
their age?
rather
Bertuzzi's
choose.
28.
I think they're probably like 3 years difference, I would assume.
They are 28, 31. It's really not that
but
bad.
that's the thing. I really don't see the Bruins ever doing a full-on rebuild. They're going to do a retool. And
Yeah,
Hall's one of those veteran guys that
I don't
stays
see Hall
there.
being moved.
Because it's like, yeah, you're going to have Hall. You're going to have Pasta. Pasta's going to want a guy like Hall. So
Does Hall have a no movement clause?
Um, I would assume so. I would assume that he at least has like a 10-team no trade clause if you went and looked at it. That's what would make sense anyway.
He has a Taylor Hall salary is $7 million with a cap hit of $6 million for the 2022-2023 season. He has a $1 million signing bonus. I don't see that he does. UFA in 4 years, signing.
Taylor Hall has
Movement
a
clause.
no movement clause with a modified no trade clause.
Yeah.
So
16
let's
no trade
see.
list starting next year.
Yep. Or no, that was this year.
No, last year. Oh, yeah. It goes to 10 team no trade list.
Goes to
this year.
10 team.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it gets slimmer. Wow.
I mean, it's yeah. But we'll see. I don't know that I see that happening. I do think Matt Grizzlick is probably like, I don't know, but he's played good in the games he was put back in, so it's like tough to be like, but I don't know. I think Grizzy may be the odd man out, especially with Mason Lowry coming and guys that are coming.
I mean, there's a reason that they didn't play him in the first two games, right? Like, we might not know necessarily what that is, but there is,
He
to
could've been
Bruins
hurt, we don't
management
know.
and coaching staff, there had to be a reason that he wasn't playing.
I don't disagree. I think it's size and grit. I mean, but now he's in the top pairing, so it's like I mean, it's just you're gonna want. It depends on. I mean, Orlov's definitely not re-signing, but Grizzlick makes you good. He's good. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely don't see Orlov. Orlov. I think wants like 7 years and money, so he wants the term. It's gonna be like his last contract, really big contract. So Orlov's definitely out unless he wanted to like take like a 2 to 3 year deal with not a lot of money, but that's not happening. He's cashing in on a good second half of the Bruins in a playoff, and he's gonna take the bag and go wherever.
Yeah, I see it the same way. Like, I just don't. I don't think Orlov's gonna be a Bruin in that case. I mean, Grizzlick maybe doesn't get moved, but I have a feeling he could too. Though I don't disagree that Grizzlick could be one of the guys getting moved.
I think Garnet Hathaway could end up sticking around to be a Bruin for a while.
Yeah, I do, and it's like then you look right. It's like we say like, oh, Carlo. I mean, not Carlo. We kind of pinned Coyle on a guy they could look to move, but Coyle's been playing out of his mind. Coyle's made for playoff hockey. When the game tightens up and it becomes a possession game, he's so good. It's like every year we get reminded how good Charlie Coyle is at holding the puck and controlling play in the playoffs. It's like, that's a guy you want to stick around. Then again, if the Bruins win the cup, I mean it when I say
Then
I
who
don't care.
cares? Yep.
I don't care.
Screw
I
it.
don't care what they do. If they win the cup, they do whatever they want. I really don't care. So I promise I won't mince my words. I will support whatever they do if they win the cup. I won't. Maybe I won't like it, but I'll support it. So just go win the friggin' cup. The only other thing I really have in the Bruins for you guys is the goalies. How about Monty saying like he might go to Sway, and when they asked him why, he's like, because he's an excellent goaltender. He's like, we're gonna check with goalie Bob. I thought that was a good like little just reminding Sway that like, hey, like you're still very good. We're thinking about playing you. Didn't happen. You got 2 minutes. Shut out 2 minutes.
Shutout streak. What up?
But Olmark's been good. I don't know about you guys. I didn't love Olmark's game in game two. He let in some goals from far out. That one where he
Everything gets excused when he rips off the mask and the blocker and the glove to fight Matthew Tkachuk. I don't care. This guy scores a goal as a goalie. He's ready to fight Matty Tkachuk, and they've got the electric goalie hugs. This man walks on water in
And
Boston.
he got an assist. Can't forget the assist.
He's got basically a season-long Gordie Howe hat trick.
Yeah, don't take it the wrong way. I love Allmark, and I think he's literally going to win the Vezina Trophy, deservedly so. He should be the guy playing these big games. But I just thought it was interesting that, like, it wasn't just a Sway's definitely not going to play. It was something that could be entertained, whether Allmark was hurt or not. I will say Allmark's gotten up a little gingerly a few times. He hasn't moved as quick as he normally does. But Allmark at 85% still better than 99% of the NHL this year. So
Yeah, and I mean, you're up 3-1 on the Panthers right now. Olmark is a little banged up. I think it just makes sense to go with Swayman. If nothing else, you give Olmark a day of rest. You get Swayman in there. This game is likely to be a lot of rough stuff.
very rough.
So,
If Florida's going to start out rough, if the Bruins can get a couple goals on them, they're going to get rougher. That's for sure. Because Florida's hanging on here for everything. Their life's on the line. And a guy like Matty Tkachuk's going to come out flying. Tkachuk's been a little bit of a scumbag so far in the series. I will preface...
we all kind of knew that he had that in him.
Yeah, I will preface, Marchand said it best. Like, when they asked Marchand about the comments that Tkachuk calling, making derogatory comments about Nosik's wife, Marchand didn't, put down Tkachuk. He said, you guys, shouldn't be hearing that. And the onus should be on the media not miking up are chirping each other. Like, I hate to be the bearer of bad news to the, PC police, but hockey players, when they're chirping each other, say a lot of bad stuff, they don't necessarily mean it. Like that, like Matt Tkachuk's not saying that to these guys after the game. Like, it's like hey, sorry, that was overblown in the moment. We don't know what Nosek said either. He probably said bad stuff back. They're guys playing hockey, so I was kind of with Marchand on that. Like, hey, like let's not just like I'm sure Brad said a lot of dumb shit too, right? So it's just like he's not going to be the guy to throw heat on that fire, throw coals on that fire, whatever I'm saying. But I don't know how you guys have felt about Tkachuk's play. I mean, he's gotten what he deserved.
Yeah, I mean, I get it 100%. I think the thing out of everything here that really kind of irks me is when games get out of hand in the Stanley Cup playoffs, it just turns into a complete goon fest.
Yeah.
Especially when it's an elimination game. So like you said, if the Bruins, put up with it and get a couple penalties, score a couple, power play goals early, and they build up a little bit of a lead and it starts to get nasty, that nasty is just going to keep ratcheting it up until the officiating has to basically put the game out of reach and start tossing players.
I got some good news I just read on Twitter.
Uh-oh.
Montgomery said Krejci is progressing well. Won't be available for Game 5, but may be an option for Game 6. That's good news.
Yeah.
Because I thought Krejci was more hurt than that. Did you guys already know that?
Just old age.
No. I had no idea. But I'm glad. I'm like, hopefully... I don't think Krejci should even return the rest of the series. Hopefully the series ends tomorrow night and just see him next round. But even if it goes 6, Krejci should be out there with 6.
I want your guys' opinion on this. I talked to my dad about it on my drive home. He doesn't think the Bruins could win without Bergeron, the Cup. And I think you guys both agree with that. But
I'm not convinced right now.
He does think they could win without Krejci. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm in full agreement with Big Jim. Bergeron just... It's tough. We're seeing them beat...
I don't think they beat everyone. Like, they beat
No,
without
Bergeron is a game changer. And we're just seeing...
The face-offs alone.
Yeah, I think we're just seeing Florida's really not as good as...
No, they're not.
Yeah, they suck. So we're able to get past it.
Their goaltending options are Alex Lyon or Sergei Bobrovsky.
So, no, I definitely think, you can win without Krejci, but you need Bergeron. He's just a game changer.
Not this series. This series.
No, not this series. But when it gets tough,
I'm talking about the Cup.
Yeah. Everything.
Like, I don't think you can beat Colorado.
With all the people they're missing right now?
I think Nathan McKinnon dominates the Bruins without Bergeron. Bergeron neutralizes them.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. And then with Bergeron there, then
McDavid,
Coyle and Zaka.
The superstars in the league, Bergeron is literally there. He just shuts them all down. He shuts down Austin Matthews.
Bergeron is the kryptonite to 100-point scorers.
100% is. Like, you want him against Stamkos, you want him against Kucherov, you want him against all those guys.
Yeah, and that's not even that. It's like, yes, he does that, but then also
Zaka,
it gives you the depth. It gives you the depth. That's the thing. It's like when you have to move Zaka up to the first line and Coyle up to the second.
Up against Austin Matthews or Steven Stamkos next
not
round.
really
I don't know about that.
No.
I don't know about that. Austin Matthews. Let's get into it. I think that's enough for the Bruins. You guys got anything else? Let's just rattle through the games quick. Game 1, Bruins won 3-1. Good game, strong game. Not their best game. They really just scored more goals than the other team to get the win.
The feeling out game of the series.
Yeah, game 2, the Bruins got pee smacked around. That was shitty to watch. Just didn't play great. The game 3, the Bruins came out, played their game. Still not great. It was like they played good, they played their game, but I was also flying and my plane kept dropping and there was crazy turbulence, so I watched a lot of blocky version of the Bruins game, but I think they could have probably played even a little better there. Game 4, they came out and played their game. Game 4, they came out 6-2 win, big Bruins hockey. Love that. And what's your prediction for tomorrow? My prediction for tomorrow is a 5-2 Bruins win.
I'll take a 4-0 dub. I think it's going to get nasty early, and I think you're going to see somebody ejected in the second period.
I'm going 5-3.
5-3. All right. Is it going to be a close 5-3 or like they get one late? It's like
get
5-2 and they
5-2.
pop one. Okay.
Get one late. They'll chippy.
Okay. All right. Let's get into what we're going to do for the rest of the pod, guys. We're going to jump from series to series, give you a quick synopsis of the series and how things are going. So let's get into that Salt of the East. Talk about the other Easty teams. Mr. Mix
Boom.
Master. What series we got first? We have, guys, you better be watching on YouTube. Oh, my dog is barking. Sorry for that. I'll announce the series quick. We have the Toronto Maple Leafs against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Toronto, in what is going to be the most surprising statement we say in this podcast so far, is up 3-1 in the series. After a huge comeback victory last night that saw Austin Matthews put the boys on his back and take over a hockey game. Give me how you guys are feeling about this one.
Luckily, this is the series that I have actually watched the most, being that this is the team or the resulting team that the Bruins will play. And I'll be honest, I am extremely floored by the way that the Maple Leafs are playing in the postseason thus far. It is not your father's Maple Leafs anymore. They have gooned it up, if you will. There's been a lot of rough stuff going back and forth, a lot of very questionable or dirty hits. The Michael Bunting suspension. There was an unfortunate but I think clean hit by Morgan Riley on Braden Point that had happened in this series already. And like you had just kind of said about Game 4, the Leafs have really grabbed the cojones and pulled some wins out of nowhere. And I think that this is the year that the Maple Leafs are going to win that one more game to push them over the hump. And I think the Toronto Maple Leafs might be a problem.
I would almost guarantee that the Toronto Maple Leafs make it out of the first round. They're not losing 3 in a row. Unless they lose 2 in a row, then I guarantee you they lose three in a row. But as long as they get a win in the next 2, this is the dumbest statement we're making because obviously they're making it forward if they get a win in the next 2. But Toronto's looks good. I'd rather play Tampa, to be honest, from a Bruins fan. Oh my God, Bruins fan standpoint. Other than Vasilevsky, but I don't know. Vasilevsky seemed breakable. He seemed breakable. He's gotten 10, 14 goals thrown up on him. Nope, more than that. 14 plus 3, 17 goals put on him this series. It's tough.
Tough.
Have you watched any of this? I've watched pretty much all of it. Well, the third period. I watched all the third periods. Kevin, you're muted. I don't know if you've been talking.
No, I haven't actually. I just no, I haven't really watched this. I pretty much only watched the Bruins and I watched like the Devils and Rangers.
I watched that last night. All right, well, okay. Then.
Pretty much the only ones I've been watching.
How do you feel about it? Who do you think's come out to win?
I think the Leafs are finally gonna do it. They're finally gonna.
This is like the easiest layup in the world.
Yeah. Do we think that the Leafs, assuming both series go the way they're both heading, how many games? I'm not even talking. I won't jinx it. Go to the next team. I won't say it.
No, screw it. Keep going. Don't bitch out now. How many games are the Bruins and the Leafs going in round 2? Is that what you were gonna say?
If they were to play, how many games do you think you would?
6.
I think it's 6 or 7. Yeah,
6.
The Leafs beat the Bruins, that's for sure. No, I don't think they beat them in the series, but they'll beat them in a couple games.
And next up, I'm not too concerned about that, but
well, I mean, he's the issue. He's not good.
Yeah, fair. We'll get more into that as next week's pod comes up and this becomes more of a for sure thing. For now, on to the Hurricanes and my least favorite team in the world, the New York Islanders.
So, on this one, it's gone exactly how everyone thought it was going to go. When Teravainen got hurt, though, I was like, wait a second. The Islanders might have life. And they did have life for one game. And now they're back to having no life. I think that I'm actually going to actively watch them lose tonight. So I think the Hurricanes wrap this up tonight. The Hurricanes no longer scare me. And I actually think there's a 0% chance the Hurricanes make it to the Eastern Conference Final.
Correct. I'm with you on that.
They won't beat either the Rangers or the Devils. So this matchup, as much as it's going to be fun to watch hockey tonight, I don't know that it even matters. Because the Rangers, I thought were going to run away with the series. We'll get into it in a second. I don't need to say that now. None of us are rooting for the Islanders. The Islanders are the
Nope.
most boring team ever to play.
No, I hate
Bo
the
Hor-
Islanders.
Bo Horvat, someone should put him on a milk carton because he's been useless so far in the playoffs. Matt Barzell's doing the best he can, but it doesn't even. It's just. I didn't even know Matt Barzell was healthy until I watched a little bit of their game the other day, and I was like, whoa, Matt Barzell's playing. But, I look at it, and Carolina, I don't like Rod Brind'Amour. He's the most annoying coach to me in the media, but I hate both these teams.
Carolina is a really easy team to hate because of how their persona of their organization is and how kind of chippy their social media account is on Twitter. A lot of the times it's really funny, but it also is really easy to rub you the wrong way for a lot of people, which I get. And I hate the Islanders. They're a terrible team to watch hockey, and I hate that they exist. But that's another story. I think Carolina's going to dunk on them. So next matchup is Kevy's favorite, Berkowitz. If you're listening, I'm sorry that you cried yourself to sleep last night. The Rangers and the Devils tied up 2-2.
Yeah, this one. So I've watched pretty much this whole series. So the Rangers came out and looked like they were going to absolutely run away with this series, and then Lindsey Ruff is out coaching Gallant. Is what's going on. They are playing the most stifling brand of hockey. They're literally they will only get rushes off picking the puck off and going for a turnover. And they're going in, and they have the guys who can score goals. They're not scoring a ton, but they can at least score. If they get a lead, they are going to a 1-2-2 neutral zone trap, and oh my God, they are shutting the game down. They are playing classic, old brand New Jersey Devils, like Zach Parise, New Jersey Devils hockey. They are just shutting things down. It is boring. It is slow. But I don't know that the Rangers can get through it. I think they figured the Rangers out. I'm in on the Devils. I'm saying the Devils win this series now, and I know they have less firepower.
Yeah.
No.
Their system.
No,
I'm
I'm full Devils because we've talked
all in the
about
Devil
we've talked
dogs.
about how a goaltender can steal a series,
Well,
and the Devils got shitty goaltending, but they might steal it. Stole
No.
game 3, stole
no, they
game
have.
4.
They switched their goalie, and they put in that.
To a nobody.
Yeah, a
Right,
random kid.
but that's
and
what I'm
he's ripping it up.
saying. He's good.
No offense if,
It's,
he would ever hear this, but
yeah. And
What do you mean?
Jack Hughes is him. Jack Hughes is him.
Oh, I know. He's really,
he is him. He is they.
He is him, bro.
They is them.
We're not touching that.
Oh, I didn't mean it that way. Very electric. Jack Hughes is very electric. Yeah, like he comes around town. He rags the puck all over the rink, and it's just wild. Like I don't like. He's so fun to watch. I did not like his interview after game 2. Rubbed me the wrong way.
I didn't see it. What did
He
he say?
said to the media members, we just got whacked. He's like, the last thing I want to be doing is sitting here talking to you guys. It's like, bro, come on, man, just be respectful. I thought it was really disrespectful.
I mean,
He was
still
honest.
Young.
Yeah,
Still
I know.
young.
I know. I
That's
guess
the thing. Just the
I guess
learning
there's a
curve.
degree of that, but I was like, come on, dude, respect the media. Yeah, so I'm all in the Devil Dogs. If they keep playing the stifling brand of hockey, if they try to play opened up hockey again, they're gonna lose 5-1.
I'm also still waiting for Timo Meyer to actually score some goals.
Yeah, he hasn't exactly lit it up.
Yeah.
Connor, how you feel about this one? It's your turn.
I don't know. I'm not agreeing with you guys that the Devils are going to take this series necessarily. I think that the Rangers overall have just a better team, and they're better in net, and they will figure that out. There is way too much veteran presence and talent on that team to screw that up in the first round, in my opinion. And if they do, I think Gerard Gallant is probably packing his bags yet again, to be honest with you.
Imagine that. That guy just gets canned. He's the best at getting canned. Next one. Next teams. We're I gotta hit a button. We're going over to the west. Ah! The West.
It legit has been the Wild Wild West.
I know.
Everything's happening. And starting with this one, this is my favorite one. Kraken just coming out and just bop, bop, bop. But before I do that, Jake, take it away.
I mean, yeah, okay. The Avalanche and the Kraken. I have not watched many of these games because they're past my bedtime. But I have came back and when I was in Texas, I watched a little bit. The Kraken have surprised all three of us, obviously, because they've beaten the Avalanche twice. We didn't think they were going to beat the Avalanche at all. So they've made this a series because they grind away. They have sneaky good talent. Like they do have guys who have talent. Like Eberle has talent. McCann has talent. Benares has
Vince
talent.
Dunn. Yeah.
It's like they have guys with talent. I did think last night I was eating dinner and I had said I can't believe that Seattle is tied with the Avalanche. And if you told me at the start of the year that they were going to be tied with the Avalanche, I would have said no way. And if you asked me who their leading point scorer was, I would have told you probably Shane Wright. And wrong go. Shane Wright doesn't even exist in Kraken's fans' minds at this point. They're trying to go win a Stanley Cup. And they're... I look at the Kraken and I'm like, they beat the Avalanche, they can beat anyone. So it's such an interesting situation here. I'm excited to see kind of how this goes tomorrow for Game 5. How do you guys feel about it? I think the Avalanche are the better team and they should win. But the Kraken...
The Avalanche are the better team, but
come back whenever they want, which is so annoying.
they're missing some key pieces in Landeskog and now Valerie Nichushkin. Now Makar is going to be suspended for Game 5, so that obviously tips... Yeah, he got suspended for one game. That's correct.
I thought it was under review. I didn't know he got suspended. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he did get suspended for the one game. So that obviously tips things in favor of the Kraken. And to be honest with you, like, everybody's seen the movie Dodgeball, right? And the average Joes, right? Like, I feel like the Kraken are a team of average Joes. Like, not a lot of players on their team are going to impress you and wow you on the stat sheet or with their skill, but they get the job done and they're consistent. And I think that is something that can win you a Stanley Cup if certain things break your way. You just need a little bit of luck.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look to a team like, I guess I can't remember a team like them who won a Stanley Cup, but I was going to say Vegas, but Vegas lost that.
2012 LA Kings. They were the 8th seed that slipped in.
No, but they had Anze Kopitar and Drew Doughty and Dustin Brown, and they had guys that, like, there's not one person of that level on the Kraken right now. I think Benares gets there. Matty Benares is a future superstar. That I fully think. The Kraken, when they get Shane Wright actually there and actually playing at an NHL level, they're going to be good for years to come. I thought they were going to be in the Bedard running, and here they are pushing a team that people thought were going to be a dynasty right now in a 2-2 series. Next series. Kevin, you had something on this, right? You like the Crackies?
Nah, I love the Kraken, but
He's a crackhead.
only on Thursday nights. But
Next series.
Anywho, this is Kevin's real series with Kevin's boyfriend, Matthew Boldy. Stars vs. Wild, knotted up 2-2.
Yeah, another Nah, it's actually a lie. I thought this series would be like this. The series is kind of going exactly I think anyone who watches hockey thought. These were two pretty evenly matched teams with top-end talent, can play high skilled, two good goalies. I mean, this series is going to go 7. You guys agree with that?
This is a battle of the teams who aren't good enough, right? Like, they're both good teams, but I don't think either of them are good enough, and they've both been in that same murky middle position for the last couple of years.
Good enough to win the Stanley Cup? No. Good enough to win the West? Yes.
Good enough to win the West?
Yeah.
And represent the West in the Stanley Cup?
I think
No.
The Stars are. The Stars
No.
have top-end talent.
I think the Stars definitely have the goaltending.
And they have top-end talent.
Not buying
They
it.
have
Red
the-
flag.
they have the goal scoring. Their defense sucks. But
Yeah, I mean they don't. I mean they have some talent there. They really do. Like think about like. when they have-
Tyler Sagan, Jason Robertson are who I would believe in for their top end talent.
What about Ruby Hintz?
Jimmy Ben's had a good year.
What about the rookie? The rookie. What's his name?
Oh, Wyatt
What
Johnson.
rookie?
Wyatt Johnson.
He's
Not as well versed in Wyatt Johnson,
Yeah,
so I
you're
won't
missing-
comment there.
He was a rookie that scored over 20. They have some he's expected to be a superstar in this league. Legit.
I still don't see either one of these. Like this is the Carolina and the Islanders series of the West for me, where I don't think either of these teams make it out of the next round.
Who's that much better than them?
Well, let's just look at the actual bracket itself. Let me pull up the NHL
Yeah, like,
bracket.
who would they have to play?
Yeah, that's what I want to look at. Well, they're in the Central, so they would have to play the Kraken or the Avalanche,
Yeah, I think they could.
I believe.
I mean, if they play the Kraken, I feel like they're winning.
Yeah, I mean,
Either of these
I've
teams
never
would beat the
been
Kraken.
I mean, I thought they were in the playoffs. So I can't go picking them to win a series. You know?
Fair.
I don't-
Yeah.
I mean, let's make our pick for this. I'm going Stars in 6. After saying this was going to go 7, I'm going Stars in 6. I lied. I'm going Stars in 7. That was it. Stars in 7.
Wild in 7.
I was gonna say Wild and 7.
All
Yeah.
right, fine. Next series. What do we have next?
Next series, the Bruce Cassidy Vegas Golden Knights versus the Rick Bonus Winnipeg Jets.
This series gets wrapped up on Thursday.
Yeah, I really thought the Jets when they came out in that first game. Jake said, "Don't bet it. It's a trap game. Don't do it." And that's what happened. Jets came out with a 5-1.
You were going to bet on Vegas, and I said don't bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
You told me don't bet on Vegas.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
So, but yeah, after watching game 1, I really didn't. I thought the Jets like, oh man, the Jets finally figured it out. They had a little up and down end to the regular season between all the injuries and everything, and then it's been the story of this playoff
Yeah,
series too.
they are a double.
It's
I mean,
injuries.
they're one
It's
double
injuries.
OT loss away from being tied, but I still think Vegas is the better team. I think
I just hope Vegas makes it to the next round. So the storylines are Jonathan Quick versus the LA Kings,
Exactly.
or Jonathan Quick versus his old protege Jack Campbell.
Oh, well,
We'll get into that one in the next series, but
right there though, like neither of those teams can win a Stanley Cup. Jack Campbell can't win a Stanley Cup, and Jonathan Quick can't win a Stanley Cup. I look at goalies like those goalies are not winning you a Stanley Cup.
yeah, but you know what? The Oilers have a Connor McDavid, and a Connor McDavid can win you a Stanley Cup.
I know. This one's easy. I'm going Jets. Where you guys going? I mean Jets. Jesus Christ, I can't talk today. I'm going Golden Knights.
Golden Knights for sure. Wrapping it up, Game 5, Thursday.
Knights.
Bruce Cassidy, he's a good coach.
Here's the thing: Quick isn't even the one playing for Vegas.
No, it's Brossois right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? We'll see.
Last
Well-
series. You have the last one.
Absolutely, you do.
Edmonton Oilers and the LA Kings. This series.
This one has been.
This is my favorite series.
Yeah,
This is my favorite series of the first round so far.
because it's gone to OT 3 times, and Connor McDavid's are never. Sorry, the Edmonton Oilers are never out. They're just never out of a game because McDavid and Draisaitl can drag them back in. He can grab them by the shoulders and drag them down that rocky road back in. That's what he does.
So I think it's the first Avengers movie, there's one line and it says, well, we have a Hulk. And that is essentially what the Edmonton Oilers say every time they head into a series. We have a Connor McDavid.
So, like, we might have Jack Campbell and no defenseman, but we have the best player ever to touch ice in Connor McDavid. And that's a fact. Hey, listen. I have a future on the Edmonton Oilers as well as the Bruins. So I would like the Oilers to win out the West. I really would.
Oh, I have my Bruins one.
I have Bruins.
That's a
and I
fat
have Oilers.
payday.
I also, if anyone's wondering, have the Calgary Flames. So that one flamed out, if you will.
Thanks a lot, Daryl Sutter.
Yeah, I hate that guy.
National treasure, though.
He is a national treasure, but I don't think he works in today's NHL. He's a fossil. Who do you guys have in this? How have you been like? What have you been feeling about it?
I am hardcore on the Kings bandwagon.
I'd rather see the Kings win, which is weird. As much as because the biggest thing is I don't really like the Oilers. I bet on them because of the McDavid's there. I would also like to see chaos happen and McDavid request a trade out. So I'd love them to lose in the first round. Because chaos is news. News is good for Inside the Rink. Shout out Inside the Rink, our presenting sponsor. Go check out Inside the Rink for all your news, your merchandise, your podcast, everything. We're finally actually getting new merch, so that's coming within the next week. I think that's going. So we'll get that out for the next series, I hope, or at least during the next series. And back to I can't remember. All I know
Oilers versus the Kings.
Oilers. I want chaos.
One of the jokes.
Kings in 6.
Yeah, I'm Kings in 6.
Yeah, I want
But
at least a period.
one of the things that I said the other day to kind of just be a jerk, but I think it's actually true, is the Oilers are like the Maple Leafs West, in my opinion. They're always really good, but they're not good enough to push it all the way.
I don't know about always really good. They were really shitty for a long time.
Well,
I guess
in the McDavid, Draisaitl era, they're not terrible.
No,
You know?
that era's gonna
Like,
come
because we
back.
could say the same thing about Toronto. Like, before Matthews and Marner showed up, they were shit.
Yep, they were a joke. But, generational talent, that is the draft doing what it's supposed to do. Now, we're done pretty much with our reviews, right? I'm going to pick my team I think is going to win. And as much, I've said both sides now 5 times. I'm going my final stamp of approval pick is the Oilers. Cousin McDavid.
Homer, how many games?
7.
7. Wow. All right. Well, me and Kevin are a little more heavy on the Kings. We think they're going to take the next 2 games. Whoop, whoop. Watch the Oilers go out and win tonight. Me and Kevin are screwed. Nice.
Yeah, no, that's why I keep picking 7.
It's all right. I've looked stupider before.
That's a fact.
Exactly. When you say a word like stupider. Got it.
Correct.
I'm glad you got
One
that.
last thing that I had a little argument when I was in Houston. I had a couple actually NHL fans, which was surprising. Like we split the room up, and we had like guys from New Orleans and Texas who were rooting for the New Orleans guys were rooting for the Panthers, obviously, and because they're close over there. And then the Texas guys were just rooting for not the Bruins. We kind of split the room up and argued. But there was a girl in our class who was a diehard Blackhawks fan. And she wanted to know why the Blackhawks, why I said there was no chance they get Connor Bedard. And I was like, well, because Gary's not going to let it happen. But just looking at the teams in last place, what do you... So I'm going to do a lottery sim, right? I'm going to hit...
Wait,
a
what
lottery.
is the lottery?
Shit.
I found it is in 12 days, 23 hours, 34 minutes, and 46 seconds. I want everyone to make a pick right now on who Connor McDavid's going to. And then I'm going to hit the sim.
Connor Bedard, you
know
twat.
Connor Bedard. You know what I meant. I can't do this today.
Courtesy of DraftKings Sportscook.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to go Connor Bedard. You are an Anaheim Duck. I know that's the easy version, but I really love that.
Coyote.
Kev?
I don't even think he can be a Coyote, but...
It's almost impossible.
Quack, 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 baby.
We're going to sim.
Nah, he's a Blue
We're
Jacket.
simming the lottery.
Oh, if he goes to the Blue Jackets, bro, that'd
He
be
is
sick.
an Anaheim Duck.
Wow. Shocked face.
Philly moved all the way up to second from fifth. They get Adam Fantilli in this. Look at that. And Colorado jumped. Oh, no, Colorado moved down to 4. I'm going to sim it again. We're going to do 3 sims. Connor Bedard is an Arizona Coyote.
Uh-oh.
And Adam Fantilli's a Detroit Red Wing. That does not seem likely. And
Ooh. Actually, Fantilli
Bedard?
going...
is an Anaheim Duck in the third. We're going to do 2 more because I'm addicted to this.
Yo. Fantilli going to the Red
Duck
Wings?
Is the St. Louis Blue. I said Anaheim Duck.
Anaheim Duck is a St. Louis Blue. Jesus Christ, take your
Bedard is
meds.
a St. Louis Blue. Oh my God. St. Louis jumps up 9. Anyone in the top 10 technically has a percentage to get it. Oh my
So
God,
there is-
say Sharks.
There is actually a really good chance that the Red Wings can end up with the number 2 overall pick and get Adam Fantilli in a lot of different scenarios.
So I keep hitting this button, and it's a different team every other time. Washington's gotten it 3 times. Anaheim gets it the most, but imagine he goes to the Caps. That'd be so funny.
Fantilli or Bedard.
Bedard, either one of them. Like they get another generation.
And he just sauces it to Ovi for the next 3 years.
Yeah, that'd be so fun.
What a waste of talent.
All right, I think that kind of wraps it up, guys. This has been fun. Let's go watch some playoff hockey.
Let's
Anything
do it.
else?
No,
Nope.
we outie. We outie.
Glad to be back. Follow us, subscribe, interact with us. We love you people.
We're going to be releasing some shorts. I think we definitely got to get a short of me saying Connor Bedard. Connor, all the mistakes. And then me saying McDavid pulls him along going like this. Like that's good.